Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of Frail Conversations. And today, as you've seen from the title, we're gonna be talking about what did I just say I was gonna call this? Patriarchy rules, right? And it can be, I'm using patriarchy rules because it's either gonna be like it's layers. Y'all know how I rock, but I want to have this episode for one because as I was, prepping for season 13 just to come back, I had to go back to the old episodes so I can get the rhythm back. Cause like when I take breaks and shit and I take long extended breaks, it kind of, I get away from it. And I this shit, I've been doing it for so long that it's autopilot and that like the structure and everything is straight, but I still got to go back and say, okay, like where do I want to go? What directions, do I want to go? What have I learned in the interim and what things can I build on and things like that? So I want to say it was season maybe 12 or 11, one of the two. But in one of those seasons, I have an episode called Matriarchal Erasure. And so I was listening to that one, and that one was like, all right, did I ever do anything about patriarchy or some shit like that? And it's like, I have, because, it's largely what I talk about. But in patriarchy rules, and this ties into the last episode on reading and language and comprehension and shit. Patriarchy rules, or I could say patriarchal rules since I did matriarchal erasure just to keep things consistent. But patriarchy rules is layered because it's like depending on who sees it, they might think that it's rules as if I'm condoning it or supporting it. Or they might read it as, okay, these are the rules of patriarchy, but this episode is going to be a little bit of all of that. I was going to say both, but it's like where we're going to go is going to dive deeper into multiple aspects of patriarchy as a whole, why it rules, what it is, and where it comes from, where it stems from, what things evolve out of it. Because as men, this is so for a conversation, so we're just talking to us as men, we have to understand that patriarchy is for bitches. Like, and I'm not talking about like women. When, you know what, I'm going to change that. I'm not going to say bitches because I'm not talking about women anyway, but patriarchy is for pussies. Now, pussy is not vagina. Pussy is short for the word pusillanimous, which means bitch made motherfucker. Look it up, right? And like I said, it ties to the previous episode about, reading literacy and shit, right? So patriarchy is for pussies, bro. It's for pussies. It's for pusillanimous motherfuckers. But patriarchy is for pussies because a lot of us don't understand the depths of patriarchy. And I've been bridging gaps, over the years and shit, like with me, expressing things like before misogyny is the hatred of women, it is the competition between men, right? The big three is patriarchy, religion, and misogyny. They all go hand in hand. But the root and the foundational piece of it all is patriarchy. You feel me? And patriarchy is for pussies. So it's like any man, and this is like if the lady shouldn't even be listening to this so frail conversations and shit, but so this episode really isn't pandering. Like I'm not talking to women at all. I'm talking to you niggas. But patriarchy is for pussies. You feel me? And patriarchy, I was just thinking I should change the title for patriarchy for pussies, but it's going to get flagged. I can't do that. So, but anyway, patriarchy is for pussies, right? And it's because we have to understand the genetics of it. That's one of the things that I never did and I never expressed when I was talking about patriarchy, misogyny, religion, all that shit before. I never included the genetic side to it because that's what stems from it. That's what builds all of this shit. Like, we get so wrapped up in not understanding genetics. They don't want you to. That's science. You feel me? I want you to be stupid. I want you to think genetics is down to skin color, nigga. No. Genetics is the ultimate. Genetics is if patriarchy is the foundation of both religion and misogyny, genetics is the catalyst for it. Right? Genetics is the reason why patriarchy is a thing. Genetics is the reason why patriarchy has to be a thing. When we talk about what patriarchy is ultimately tied to, it's, Abrahamic religion. Like any religion or any spiritual practice that includes a woman, patriarchy doesn't fuck with. Like patriarchy has no women with power. Like God ain't got a wife, Allah ain't got a wife, which is interesting because I don't know the exact verse. I don't remember the exact verse. You can look it up, but it says Allah has a womb. And it's like, But there's levels to why Allah has a womb, because again, the Quran represents the moon. The womb represents the womb is aligned with the moon in the 13 moons of the year. You know, the woman's cycle is 28 days. It's powerful. It's powerful. But patriarchy erases that. And it's like, why would patriarchy be so against women? Why does patriarchy hate women? Because when you consider genetics, survival of the fittest, everybody ain't surviving. Like when we look at, like, we have to flip it on a head. Because when we look at patriarchy, when we look at polygamy from the patriarchal perspective, we think, oh, it's a man that has hoes. Nah, it's the women choosing the man with the greatest genetic template to procreate with. Oh, yeah, because we are about being fruitful and multiplying. You can't be fruitful with the fruitless. And patriarchy started that because the shit wasn't fair. The competition wasn't fair. So now niggas is saying I was ordained by a deity to be able to get the women that I want. And this is why a lot of patriarchal men, when you study patriarchy, that's why a lot of pedophilia and the shit. Because they can't fuck with their peers, so they got to fuck with children. And the shit get crazy. But I'm already going down the rabbit hole, and this intro is already long. So go ahead and follow me. Damn, what's the shit? So before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SeenTheGriot. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. And as always, Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And you know the vibe. That's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into So Frail Conversations, Patriarchal Rules. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. Ow. And without further ado, we're going to dive heavy into this shit. And so, because like I said, I was flowing, I want to go ahead and jump back into that vein that I was in. So when we look at picking it back, like, you know, a lot of men will say, well, in our cultures and shit, we were polygamous under matriarchy. Like we was polygamous. We had multiple wives and all of this shit like that. And it kind of makes you wonder. Now, again, this isn't me saying, you know, women should rule or anything like that. No. We are in a space where because of patriarchy, everything is based off hierarchy. You feel me? It's not harmony anymore. Now, when things are in harmony, it's because they flow with the natural order of nature. Patriarchy has to be against. Patriarchy can't flow with the natural flow of order, because now within this hierarchy, who is allegedly at the top is not at the top. Them niggas is at the bottom, at the very bottom of the totem pole. There's a direct correlation between the people who are the most devout. You feel what I'm saying? And when I'm gonna say devout, I'm speaking on the men. The men who are most devout and their ability to get bitches. Now, I'm using bitches dramatically because this is a So Frail conversation. So, you know, we can drop our guards and we can talk like we be talking sometimes and shit. You feel me? But a lot of patriarchal men, and especially the higher up in the tier, they don't get bitches. So they need power. They need positions of power to get bitches. I'm doing a dramatic pause with that because it's real. When you look at the pastors, when you look at the bishops, the imams, the priests, whatever it is, these niggas they exploitive, pimps, all of that shit. They didn't have power. They didn't have power, so they developed a position to give themselves the power, which is assigned to patriarchy. It's all rooted in the shit. So it's like when they like you'll hear motherfuckers say, what is it? The pimp to pastor pipeline. The pimp to pastor pipeline needs to be studied. It don't need to be studied. Patriarchy needs to be understood. That's it. Cause that's what all of this shit is. It's patriarchal. Because patriarchy, religion, misogyny, they all go hand in hand because they have been established by niggas who didn't get bitches. And I'm being dramatic with that shit, but for the most part, it's about niggas who didn't get bitches. So much so that they couldn't continue their bloodline. They had to intervene and say that a divine source told them to write this book so that way they can have wives and kids and all of this other shit. And if I'm covered, like, y'all don't find that shit weird that the order is deity, then the intercessor of the deity, and then man, and then woman. It's like, nigga, why is it like that? And you know what? I made a post about this, and I said, what was it? I said patriarchy. It was like patriarchy makes sons. That's what it is. I said patriarchy turns boys to sons. Masculinity turns boys to men. And I'm glad I said that now, and it just came to me, and I remembered it because I can now see the full direction of where this episode is going to go. Patriarchy turns boys to sons. Masculinity turns boys to men. When we look at patriarchy, it is about men who never had power finally having power over men. They are sonning men. Like there's so much conversation that we have. Like we say shit like, yo, you son this nigga, you hold this nigga, like you bitched him. Like there's language. There's language that you need to be literate to that is tied to patriarchy. Explicitly, right? Because patriarchy is about turning boys to sons. I always wondered, why is it that like the pastor, like I've been to several churches and, over the course of my life and shit. And it was like always called the bishop or the pastor father. You feel me? Even in the Catholic shit, like the popes, they're called pastors. They're called fathers. Pastor is I want to say it's Spanish, which means it's going to ultimately lead back to Latin. But pastor means father. So when you're calling, and this is the semantics of words, you feel what I'm saying? You wouldn't call another nigga daddy. You wouldn't. Like in good conscience, you would not call another nigga daddy. You feel what I'm saying? You'll call it awkward. So much so that we side eye and say pause when we heard Diddy talking about, hey daddy. When we heard Diddy saying that shit prior to all of this shit, like when we were like, yo nigga, pause. But you go to church and say, pastor, such and such. Pastor means father, nigga. But because it's in another language, you're not looking at it as, oh, I'm calling this nigga daddy, bro. I'm literally calling this nigga daddy. The pastor of your church is the father of your church. Oh, that's because he's the leader. Now, this is when it gets crazy for me, because it's like you either going to call him the daddy or you're going to call him the shepherd. Now, what are you calling yourself either way? What are you calling yourself? If you calling your pastor because he's the shepherd of the flock or whatever the case may be, you're either calling yourself a son or you're calling yourself a sheep. Pick your poison, nigga. Either way, you ain't no man. And either way, you're not embodying manhood. You're staying a son. You're becoming a son or a sheep. Take your pick. Take your pick. Bishops, imams, all of that shit. These are euphemisms for the title of father. And it comes a trickle down effect. And I was always wondering, like, why ain't God got no wife? Why Allah ain't got no wife? Like I said, the womb, we're not going to get too heavy into that part. But it's like, why don't these male deities have women? Because they're not supposed to. Because it takes away from the ability. Because when I know that with this patriarchal doctrine, I am going to make boys sons as opposed to make boys men, I now need a father. And this, when people say they took the father out of the home, they took the father out of the mind first. This is why if you read So Frail 2 and 3, when I talk about the paternal energy, that's the father energy. That's what they don't want in the home, which is why when that is out of the home, where do you go to find your father? For men, for boys, they're either going to go to the streets and it's weird because if they're really masculine boys and they're trying to become men, they go to the streets. They say, oh, if we just loved our boys a little more, a little harder, they wouldn't have that. Like, the ones that don't become men go to church. The ones that remain sons go to church. The ones that become men go to the streets. It's a direct correlation. And I'm saying this from experience off both sides. Off both sides. You feel what I'm saying? And I happen to be able to see both sides. Like, when you in the streets, you become a man. On some real shit, because you're going to get your respect, because you got to go through some shit. You feel me? You become a real warrior in the streets. When you go to church, you become a prayer warrior. That's a son. That's a son, my nigga. You're a son. And if you are heavily religious and you hear and you like, hey, you got to take it for what it is. Like, I've been there. So this is why you have the hierarchy. This is why within the hierarchy, there is no harmony. So that's why you can't learn from a younger kid. That's why you can't learn from somebody who's experienced something far beyond you. But this is why it's like the women are the women are important and necessary to make sure patriarchy sticks. I know it's a paradox. Well, what women hate patriarchy? No, patriarchy hates them. They love patriarchy because they're looking for the father figure. Because the father figure is gone due to patriarchy. You feel what I'm saying? Sticking to just Christianity in this regard. Well, Islam too, a little bit. It's Abrahamic. You feel me? From the Christianity perspective, women will say, I don't need no man but Jesus. Jesus is all the man that I will ever need. A man has to love Jesus so much. His heart has to be so found in Jesus or something. I seen niggas say stupid shit like this. Now, mind you, it wasn't stupid when I was in the religion. It made perfect sense. When I left the religion, it's stupid. But I get it. You feel me? It's like, I need a woman, like, I need the woman's heart so wrapped up in Jesus that I have to go through Jesus to find her. Nigga, that's delusion. You're going to become a son and you don't even realize it. So we wonder why there's this dynamic, this power struggle where it's like, you have the boys, women say, where are the real men at? You don't want them to be men. You want them to be sons. You feel what I'm saying? I said this in So Frail 1. I said, there's no reason why as a man, if I have a problem, I should be asking. This is why when I talk about prayer and it being, being able to conjure the image up in your mind so you can hold it so that way the shit can come into reality. It's like, if I'm praying to a man to intercede on my behalf for another man to solve my problems, I'm not a man. If I'm going to a man to tell him to pray to another man to solve my problems, I'm not a man. I'm a son, and I don't realize it. I'm a son. This is why when you hear me define masculinity as the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction, this is what I mean. Men don't need permission to solve a problem. But when I need permission to solve a problem, I'm not a man. It's my opinion. It's how I feel off my own understanding. You may feel like I'm throwing shots at y'all if y'all are heavily religious, but it is what it is. This is why we in the states and the conditions that we in, and this is what they decided to take out of the home. This is why churches are still on every corner. They're not for the women. They're for the men, and we don't realize it. Churches are continual, churches, mosques, all of these things. And it's like, we get these men as, oh, these are the leaders. No, these are the sons. If you actually read your religion, the theme is always the theme is about your sons. A lot of the fathers be bitches and they don't become something more until they have sons. That's crazy, right? That's crazy when you really think about it. You didn't achieve anything and your greatest form of legacy is your son. Like, I co-sign this. I co-sign this 100%. The shorties be spazzing on threads and shit. And they be like, ladies, don't expose your womb to the bloodline of a mediocre nigga and shit. Like, don't be on no stupid shit like that. And it's like, real. Like, what, for some men, their only legacy is their son. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. My children ain't gonna be my legacy. Like, they're gonna be able to create their own legacy, live their own life. Like, my children are my legacy. And I know it seems like, well, that's what no. You don't have children for legacy. Children are not your legacy. Your legacy is before you ever had kids. Your legacy is the shit that stands on its own without your kids. Now, will my kids be able to benefit off my legacy? Most fucking definitely. You feel me? My legacy will be given to them. They are not my legacy. But patriarchy teaches you that your children are supposed to be your legacy, which means you don't have to do shit as a man because your child can do what you couldn't, as opposed to you figuring out how to do what you couldn't. Bitch made shit. Because why? Patriarchy turns boys to sons, not men. Masculinity turns boys to men. And I'm glad that I'm able to pop my shit on this and shit, because it's like, well, see, you can't talk that shit because my legacy is so Frail 1, 2, and 3, Hitting It Raw, the Hitting It Raw course, this fucking podcast, Mastering the Market and Flavor. I already left my legacy. I got a jam session where I was like, my seeds are planted, my keys are scattered around this land in hands and mind. There's already people that have already benefited and are benefiting off of Mastering the Market, off of Hitting It Raw, off of So Frail, off all of the shit that I built. My legacy is solidified. I don't need to have kids for my legacy to be solidified. But that's what patriarchy teaches you. Why do you think you always want to name your first son Junior? I had a conversation one time with this woman. She was like, if we have kids and we have a son, would you want to name him after you? Fuck no. Fuck no. She was like, why? She said, most men. I said, I'm not most men. I said, fuck that. I said, he's not me. He's not me. Why would I name him after me? He's not me. But that's like, but because that's legacy. That's not legacy. That nigga ain't me. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna name him after me to make him feel like he got to be. No, nigga, you're not daddy. You're not me. I don't want you to be your daddy. I want you to be you. I want you to be a man. I don't want you to just be my son. Whew, that's a bar. That shit just gave me chills when that shit came through. Ooh, damn. I want you to be a man. I don't want you to just be my son. In order for you to be a man, that means you can't walk the path that I already walked, that I cleared out. Now, granted, with the path that I cleared out, yeah, I gained some tools along the way. I got a sharpened axe. I knew how to sharpen my axe. And I can give that to you when you got to go carve your own way out. But you're not following me. And if I name you after that, like if I name you after me, now you got to live up to my image. The world is going to make you live up to my image. Because you're my son. The fuck? That's what patriarchy is. Oh, you're little such and such. You're just like your daddy. No. You're nothing like your daddy. You're nothing like your daddy. For off rip, your daddy's here. My daddy wasn't. You're nothing like your daddy. You will never be able to create or even be you wouldn't even able to, this is going to sound disrespectful when I bring it home. It's going to make sense. You will never compare to the type of man that I am. And I'm saying this in the future tense, and I'm saying this in the podcast tense, or whatever the case may be. To my son, if you're listening to this, when I have you later down the line and you got to come back to this shit, you will never compare to me. Don't even try. You can't. You won't. You will fail. I'm telling you right now, you will fail. I'm not going to encourage you to be anything that I am. I'm not going to encourage you to do anything that I've done. You know why? Because you are not me. Patriarchy wants us to believe that our sons are the better versions of us. No. Even in the Bible, it says train a child up in the way that they should go and they never depart from it. And people think that I'm going to train them up. And this is what the fathers do under patriarchy. I'm going to train you up in the ways that I failed and that I couldn't go. Now I'm taking you all the way off of your path. You're not even supposed to be going this way. But I'm making you go this way because I failed going this way. And if I fail going this way, what do you think I'm going to impart failure in you? And I'm going to get mad that you can't succeed. That's fucked up on my part. Why? Because I don't want to raise a man. I want to raise a son. Are you my son? Yes, most definitely. But it's not on me to make you stay my son. It's on me to make you become a man. You feel what I'm saying? What patriarchy teaches us to do is turn boys to sons as opposed to turning boys to men. Now, the problem is that because we have so many cycles of boys becoming sons, that the boys don't become men. And we have defined men by being a son. I want to know in Black Panther, when T'Challa went to the spiritual realm to talk to his dad and everything, he said, if as a father, I have not prepared you for my death, I have failed. Patriarchy turns boys to sons, and it doesn't teach a son how to become a man, which means it is not preparing the son for the father's death. I'm doing a dramatic pause with that because if you don't know how to do that, you become lost. And now your cap and your limitation is no longer on who you are as developing as a man, but it's who you are as the son of your father. So to the point when Shorty was asking me, would you name your son? No, he's not me. He'll never be me. He will never be me. I will be selfish. I will be arrogant. I will be narcissistic. I will be all the negative things you could think of if I try to make him me, knowing that what made me me, he will never experience. I'm doing a heavily dramatic pause with that because that's something we don't consider. We want our kids to become better than us or be what we were or whatever the case may be, not considering that they will never experience what we experienced that made us who we are. Why? Because we healed and we don't want them to experience that shit. In order for my son to become what I am, he has to be raised without a father. Why the fuck would I do that to him? Not only that, I would have to, if I put the whole timeline in perspective, I would literally have to have a baby with his mama. Have a baby. Yeah, I said it with his mama. Yeah, that would be him. Now, I don't know, I'm flowing. But I would have to have a baby. I would have to meet his mother, have a baby by her, and leave when the baby's 4 months old. You feel me? I would have to constantly disrespect the mother to break her psychology down. You know, marry her and leave her alone and shit and tell her, yeah, she can hit me up and tell me, yeah, we can still work shit out or whatever the case may be. And if we want, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I keep stringing her along. And then I give her a call and I say, yo, fuck you motherfuckers. I don't care if I ever see y'all again. You feel me? Then I call him. I have to call him when he's like 3 or 4. I have to call him when he's like 3 or 4 and say, hey, yo, daddy's going to come and see you. I'm going to be driving a black car. Never show up. Fuck with him psychologically because now every time he sees a black car, he's screaming out, that's my daddy. You feel what I'm saying? Never talk to him again. When he's 11 years old, I'm going to pop up back in his life. And I'm going to spend a week with him. I'm going to buy him shit. I'm going to buy him scooters. I'm going to buy him all kind of shit, trying to win him back over and tell him I'm coming back for Christmas. Christmas come, I don't show up again. I don't show up again. You feel me? Now he wild. He wigging. You know what I'm saying? Whole time I have to keep his mama in the situation where I constantly gaslight her and shit. You feel what I'm saying? I have to, when he get ready to go to college and shit, I'm gonna have a conversation while he's 18. When he's in college and shit. I'm not gonna teach him about girls and none of that shit. But then I'm gonna make it seem like he's the bad guy for not communicating with me. As his father. I'm gonna call him. We're gonna be talking. And I'm gonna tell him, you know, I'm proud of him for getting into college and shit. But it's like, yo, you know, you can call me, right? And then it's like, I'm going to make him bad. I'm going to make him feel like something's wrong with him. I'm going to make it feel like something's wrong with him. And he needs to be calling me his dad. When he's 18 years old. You feel what I'm saying? He'll never be me. I'm not going to put my son through that. The fuck? I'm not going to put my son through that. So when people try to tell me like, yo, it's like you would want him, no. I want him to be the man that he's supposed to be. He can't be the man that I am because he would never experience the things that made me the man that I am. He would never experience the things that made me the man that I am. And if he does experience the things that made me the man that I am, good things, yes, I will want him to have the good experiences that made me, but I can't erase the bad. And I refuse to let him experience the bad. I don't want him to have PTSD from hearing tires screech. Not from no fun shit, because we out at a drag strip or no shit like, no, because niggas might be spinning the block on you. I don't want him to know that. But those are some of the things that made me. Sometimes we get so selfish. And we look at a lot of the shit that I want my son to be. No. Your son can't be you. The moment you accept that, you will know that you can raise, you will be on a trajectory to raise a man. If you don't accept that, you're going to continue to make a son. And he's always going to fail you. He's always going to fall short because you're always going to forget the fact that he can't become you because he didn't experience what you experienced. You feel what I'm saying? You can, if you are actually a good father, it's going to seem like a paradox what I'm going to say, but I'm going to drive it home. If you are actually a good father, your son will never be able to become you. We flipped it on its head. We flipped it on its head where we say, yo, if I'm a good man, I want my son like, I don't like, when women tell me, they'll say, well, would you want a son to be you? No. My son is naturally going to be better than me. He's going to be greater than me. He's going to be greater than me because the very things that he will have experienced, I didn't have the luxury of getting, but he's going to have at his disposal. So the man that he has to become, the man that he's going to become, I can't fathom it. I can just make sure that I can train him up in the way that he should go. You feel what I'm saying? Patriarchy stops that. Patriarchy stops that. And you don't realize that if you're so heavily enthralled in it, because we create sons to become replications of the man, of the same father that keeps failing. We wonder why this shit it's so cyclic. Nigga, I'm gonna be my daddy. The fuck? As a man, all you have to, a man, you want to stop the cycle, you want to break the cycle, just say, yo, you can't be me. But we don't tell it, we don't want to be because patriarchy makes us turn boys to sons, and we're not turning boys to men, we're not able to tell the truth about our stories. We're not able to tell the truth about our past. I know homies that are, nigga, they was hellraisers back in the day. Now their sons have grown up to be hellraisers and they think their daddies are bitches. Daddy ain't in the streets, man. He ain't in there like that. Nigga, what? Your daddy would clear the block off, nigga. I don't know what the fuck you thought it was. You feel me? We keep wondering like why the OG, because nobody's telling the story. I ain't gonna say the story. Nobody's telling the truth because they're ashamed of the truth. They're ashamed of the dark side of who they were. That's where it says, I want to create a son who's better than me. Not as I want to create a man. Me saying, I don't want to create a son. I want to create a man. Will he be my son? Yes, nigga. I'm not talking on no disowning type shit, nigga. But I'm trying to mold him into a man. I can't lie to him. I can't give him only what's sweet. I have to give him the bitter shit too. I have to give him the dark shit too. I have to give him the full totality of me and say, this is how I had to become a man. You can't become a man this way because I'm not giving you the opportunity to become a man this way. Every catalyst, everything that set up the reality for how I had to become a man, it's rooted in me not having a father. You feel me? So spinning it back to the shorty that I was talking to, I know it seems like I keep getting off, but she was like, so that's why I won't name my son after me. He's not me. And he will never be me because he can't be me. There's no possible way I will allow him to be me. Because for him to be me, I have to disappear out of his life. Sometimes I don't even really think we understand how on an unconscious level. When I say this is why I talk about it so frail too, specifically, conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind. We don't realize how much shit is wired to our unconscious mind. Why do men keep leaving the babies to be? If you utter the words, if you're under the patriarchy spell, this is why literacy is what it is. This is why I made it related to consciousness. This is why I'm talking about this. If you relegate patriarchy as a lexicon of where you are, your religion, all of that shit, and you utter the words. See, this is how magic and spells work. When you're under a lexicon, every word that you utter has to fit under that. So when you accept religion, you don't realize what you're accepting as a whole as it develops your lexicon. But when you say the words, I want a son who's a better man than me, or I want a son to be the man that I could have been. In order for that catalyst to happen, how do you have to show up in his life? You feel what I'm saying? In recent years, when I was talking to my dad and shit, like, we've had conversations where he was saying, like, yeah, you know, I wanted y'all to be better than me. So, nigga, that's why you left. Under the premise that if you weren't there, we would have turned out different. Nigga, no. Nigga, no. We don't learn. Like, whether you're absent or present, all we can learn from is your truth. My brothers, listen to this shit. Whether you're absent or present, your son becomes a man from your truth. Not what he's too young to hear or when he gets, no, he learns from your truth, nigga. Your truth is on display every day that you're around him. Whether you say it or not, he sees your truth. He feels your truth because your truth is who you currently are. If you want to make him a man, you have to give him your truth. But if you just want him to be your son, he just got to do what you say. He just got to do what you say. A present father with who's not giving his truth to his son is no different than an absent father. Because either way, the son is not getting the truth that made him. But this is what patriarchy does. These are the rules of patriarchy. This is why patriarchy rules. It is about a bunch of bitch-made motherfuckers who don't. And it's like, how did you get here? I don't know. It's download time, nigga. I don't control this shit. I just let it flow. You feel me? Patriarchy does this. When I always talk about how they took the man out of, no, they took masculinity out of the man. Because masculinity makes men. And they put patriarchy in them because patriarchy makes sons. It makes sons. That's it. When you consider tying it back into consciousness and literacy, bringing it here, what is the song that we sung in church about Abraham? Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. It's about the sons. But it's about the sons emulating what the father was. In order for me to be what you are, I have to experience what you experienced. So it goes to the unconscious mind of, if I want my son to be what I am, I want my son to be me, I have to do to him what was done to me. We say it all the time. We see it all the motherfucking time, in real time. You feel me? So much so the motherfuckers like, I got beat and I turned out fine, so I'm going to beat my kid. Nigga, you're not normal. You're not good. This is why I be telling niggas and shit. Like, motherfuckers be acting like I can't talk the shit that I talk because I ain't got no kids. Nigga, I've been a child. Fuck, that's what qualifies me. Like, niggas be like, yo, it's like you don't have kids, so you don't have the merit to talk. Nigga, I've been a child under the very thing that you're parenting with. I know it don't work. I don't need to be an adult trying it again, failing at it. And that's the problem. Our ego gets involved. Our ego gets involved and we try to do and say, you know what? I'm going to do what my parents failed at. Not realizing that my parents used something that was designed to make them fail. They're literally, you're watching it be engineered in real time, in your face. A reality where men and women don't like each other. You want people to procreate, continue to procreate in a world where men and women, and you wonder why. Like, when I tell motherfuckers, the United States dollar is backed by the human and the health of the human specifically, but the human. This is why everybody hate the United States. Everybody else was moral enough and decent enough to say, you know what? Let's at least back our shit with oil. Let's back our shit with gold. Let's back our shit with silver. You niggas backed your shit with humans. And so you bring in the immigrants, you bring in all of these people, which is wild. I'm going to do a quick tangent on that because of ICE and shit like that. Like, motherfuckers is mad at the Trump administration. I don't fuck with it. Don't get me wrong. This is not me, but it's like, you're mad at the Trump administration for exporting the immigrants that the Biden administration brought in. But y'all still don't get the fact that under this system, it is designed for human labor, for bodies. They knew that under the Biden administration, oh, we got too many niggas vaccinated, bro. Way too many niggas vaccinated. They're dying and they're not procreating. We fucked up. So now let's bring these immigrants in. Now we brought in too many motherfucking immigrants, so we got to send some back. You know why? Because the United States dollar is backed by humans, nigga. That's the resource that runs the United States. Niggas be like, the dollar is collapsing. The dollar is just because the dollar is smart. They're smart enough to tweak it off human psychology because it's backed by the human. My nigga, the fucking human. Now, how do I guarantee that I can always generate humans and I can keep their mental health fucked up? I'm going to make sure the parents don't fuck with each other. I'm going to make sure the parents do not like each other. That will always give me a never-ending supply of babies that are fucked up, traumatized, mental health all fucked up, and I can capitalize on that. I can make money a million ways off of one person, one being. All I have to do is make sure that the men and women don't fuck with each other. You're seeing it engineered right now. Like we saw it's like Love and Hip Hop and all these different shows now on social media. It's worse. It's bad. It's horrible, my nigga. It's horrible, my nigga. You can't even have an opinion, and it's designed this way. You feel what I'm saying? So now when we tighten it back in, this is why in tying it all the way back into the patriarchy and shit like that, it's like, well, how do men, if men are not in the home, how does patriarchy do the mother? Men are going to follow the religion because it's a patriarchal religion. The religion is patriarchal, Abrahamic. You feel me? How do you get it? This is what I was talking about when I was talking about my episode, Frail Conversations on masculine spiritual systems. We don't have none. And I know it's a paradox. How is patriarchy, like, how is it patriarchy? It's not a masculine, it's a patriarchal spiritual system. It's not masculine. But a patriarchal spiritual system can cater to femininity because it removes the father that she's looking for by breaking the man down to create a son. So what does the mother do? She indoctrinates him because now it's like, I'm not blaming the mother. I'm blaming the system, the patriarchal system that allows the mother for this to happen, because it's like, when you look at the women, men, and I was talking about this is what I was getting to about the Frail Conversations, spiritual masculinity or masculine spirituality or something like that. A man is only going to follow the religious doctrine of the womb he's going out of, the womb he's trying to get into. Niggas are not religious, bro. Niggas are not religious. They not spiritually sound. They not none of that shit because of patriarchy. They think they are. They're not. They're going to follow the system of the womb they come out of or the womb they come in. Why? Because they're still sons. They're not men. I know it's getting heavy, but I told y'all niggas this season 13, I ain't no bitch, dog. I ain't got shit to do with shit. I'm just talking shit. But I told y'all we was coming back on something totally different because it's time. It's time, nigga. You feel me? So when we consider how we get our religious doctrine, it's not because we actually understand it or we believe it. So now when you get the men who are like, okay, now look at the people who lead the church, the pastors. What are they? What are they? I let you decide on what they're just like their mothers. They're their mother's sons. They're not men. Now, just because you become the man your mother wanted, or the man your mother couldn't have, or completely opposite from the man that damaged your mother, you became the son your mother wanted. You didn't become a man. I know I'm doing a dramatic pause at that because a lot of us, we got to sit and reflect on that shit. We got to sit and reflect on that shit. You see how the cycle works? Now, when we look at the statistic that says 70% of boys born of a single mother will go to prison. Why? Because they're sons. They're not men. They don't become men. They become sons. Because patriarchy makes sure that we create sons, not men. Because men actually think about this shit. Every man that I know, every motherfucker that I looked at and said, yo, that's a motherfucking man right there. He don't go to church. He don't go to church. Now, every son, he's heavily in the church. He's involved in some way, shape, or form. This is not just church. This is the Quran too. This is why this is Islam too. This is why these niggas is like, how do these niggas be like, you asking like, why are you, in the church when you're actually in the church, you're such a good person, but you're morally fucked up because you're a son. You're not a man. You're a son. So you know how to behave well. You don't know how to be. Doing a dramatic pause with that because you niggas know how to behave well. You don't know how to be. You don't know how to be shit. You just know how to behave as a fucking son. Why? Because you have a man over you. You have a pastor over you. You have a father over you. You have an imam over you. You have somebody over you and you're their son, nigga. You're not a fucking man. You're their son. This is why it's like, it's the one time that I'm going to say it and I'm agree with these niggas. Being a man is a social construct. Isn't a social construct because of the literacy of the words. Just because you label something as a man, the undertone of what you're labeling as a man is what the problem is. Because you have to realize I'm labeling sons as men because they reach a certain age in patriarchy. Now, this is not by default saying niggas is saying, well, should that mean we should be patriarchal and let the women lead or no. That's why you don't understand patriarchy in any way, shape or form. But this is why matriarchy is what it is. Because now we get to the science of the shit. And I know it's like, well, nigga, how the fuck we get from religion and why are we going to go into science? Because matriarchy only worked because we understood we were who our mother was based off maternal DNA. As black men, we have an innate, it's wired from birth, an innate connection to women, an innate affinity to women that has to be manipulated and tainted under patriarchy. In addition to that, it's because survival of the fittest. This is where the genetic side comes into it too. Why do you think every religion goes and targets black people and creates some kind of philosophy like if you're black, you're cursed? You're cursed because you're blessed genetically. This is why I always say the God of your enemy is your devil. The God of your enemy is your devil. Now, as our people, we always acknowledge nature. We always fuck with nature because we're natural. Fuck. We don't need war. We don't need famine. We don't need all of that shit to eradicate people. We just need to have sex with their women. That's it. Now, when you consider mitochondrial DNA, when you consider the maternal lineage, like she decides what she wants her line to be. When you know that you are now at the shallow end of the gene pool, now you see why racism develops. Racism are the systems developed to make genetics compete with each other. Because race is the competition between genetics. And it all has to start somewhere spiritually. The Romans, when they did the Council of Nicaea, it wasn't just we're going to make everybody believe in Christianity because it's morally right. No, nigga, we're going to make sure that you know that white people are gods. We're going to make you perceive that blonde hair and blue eyes are the deities that you're supposed to be serving. Why? Because blonde hair and blue eyes is recessive genetics, and this is the only way that we can sustain it is if we fuck with you spiritually. Now we have to go around colonizing niggas under this. We have to colonize niggas under this so we can preserve ourselves. You stay away from us. You leave us alone. This is why they hated people like Jack Johnson. This is why they hate when we take they bitches, bro. But it's for this reason why I can't take they bitches. I don't want your bitches. Ew. The fuck? She can't do shit. She like, there's nothing that she can do that is beneficial to me. But again, why do we ask ourselves, how did recessive genetics become the standard of beauty? Because recessive genetics has become the standard of power through patriarchy. Now I said patriarchy is now established because it's like, I now get this position. I create this hierarchy where I have a position and I can fuck with who I want to fuck with. Women love power now. It ain't no love. It's power. It's power. This is why I be saying, and I don't be bullshit. Niggas be thinking I be pulling shit out my ass, and I don't, nigga. It be real shit that you just got to look at. Women don't want a man who leads. They want a man in the lead. Why? Because patriarchy guaranteed that. Patriarchy ensured that women are going to get men in the lead and only chase the man in the lead. So when she says, I'm a Proverbs 21 woman, a Proverbs 31 woman, I want a man who's in the Bible. I want a man who's biblically sound in patriarchy. Why do you need somebody why would you need to follow a doctrine that needs women to submit? I need women to be beneath me because I have no power. The fuck? And these niggas is bitching and complaining all day long on social media because it's being engineered this way. You know, women don't submit. Women don't submit. They're not supposed to, nigga. They not. That's not natural. That's patriarchal. excuse me, that's patriarchal. That's not natural. Naturally, women are supposed to be unleashed. And when a woman is able to be in her vibrant space, the man that can actually compete with that, and not compete, the man that can collaborate and keep up with that, survival of the fittest, nigga. As a motherfucker, look, I've been at the deep end of the gene pool all my life. All my life. Like, all my motherfucking life, nigga. You feel me? When you know that you could be that, it makes sense. See, some of y'all have to experience it. Some of y'all have to experience it to actually get it. But you don't get it until you have power. I had it when I didn't have power. I didn't have money. I just had my genetics to rely on. That's it. Left to our own devices, what's natural always reigns supreme. Now it makes sense why, if me as a man, right? If I am using it from the perspective of harmony only, and the women are gonna be what makes them feel like. Most of my travelers on social media are always women, and niggas be like, "Oh, why you pandering to women?" No, I don't have to pander to women. I cater to them. There's a difference. I don't have to exploit weaknesses in them. I'm sound enough to be able to gravitate towards their strengths and allow them to, like, and that's why they fucking love me, nigga. If the ladies are listening right now, I love y'all to like, but you know, this man talk, baby. It's a man thing, Gina. So if you feel like I might be coming sideways on you, you shouldn't be listening any motherfucking way. But not for real. This is why women love me. Like, this is why women love me. Like, it's wild. But now, here's where the problem comes in, because it's like, when you in a feminist society and shit, women hate that women love me. Like, women will literally say, "Oh, you got all these no, these not pick-me's, bro. This is how we're supposed to naturally interact with each other as humans." You feel me? But see, because I'm not attached to patriarchy, you can't fathom that. Oh, why are these women defending you? Why are these women saying they fuck with you? Why are these women acting like this? You got these women. I don't have these women. Shit. I allow these women to be women. They don't need to be my daughters. Tying it into patriarchy. Like, I flipped that because now I can bring it in. Because why you think, where is the reality? And the fucked up part is like, why do we want women to call us daddy? What is the problem with that? Like what is the fetish with that shit? Call me daddy. I need a woman to call me daddy. And women love it. I need a zaddy. I don't know. Respectfully, bitch, you ain't my daughter. The fuck? That shit's awkward to me. Like, don't do that. Don't call me daddy. Like, don't. Because for one, I'm not going to call you mommy. And for two, it shows because of what I understand. And this is the part of the vision. I hate this. I love it, but I hate it. This is the part of the vision that, you know, goes to the duality of what I don't like about it. Once I see it, I can't unsee it. Because now once a woman calls me daddy, I know what I'm dealing with her. It's almost a direct correlation between her not having a father or having a fucked up relationship with her father. You see what I'm saying? And now that shows me that she's heavily impacted and negatively impacted by patriarchy. It's all negative impactions, but some people have the illusion of it being positive. But she's negatively impacted by patriarchy. And I got to deal with that? Fuck no. Fuck no. Because you know why? She's not looking for a man. She's looking for a father. Because that's what patriarchy does. It doesn't teach women to look for men. It teaches them to look for fathers. Now, here's where the quandary comes in, because black women, and this is why I love y'all to life, because y'all stand on that shit. Y'all, something in y'all know this shit ain't right. You feel me? Y'all know this shit ain't right. You're not going to talk to no black woman like she your child. You're not. You're just not. But because of patriarchy, she's going to talk to you still like she's your son, like you're her son. And that's where the argument comes in. You feel me? And this is now, look at some of the content and the conversations that you see going on. Men should not be arguing with women. Men are supposed to just shut up and not argue. No, sons are not supposed to argue with mothers. Respectfully. Bitch, you ain't my motherfucking mama. You feel what I'm saying? So yes, I'm going to talk to you how you're talking to me. As men, we're not articulating that because we don't even know how many layers are buffered into this world. You're like, bitch, you got me fucked up. You feel me? You're not going to call me no stupid ass nigga and think I'm not going to call you no dumbass bitch. Like, you feel me? oh, these men are sassy. These men are sons. These men are sons. These men are sons, and that's it. Patriarchy makes them sons, not men. Because there comes a level with masculinity, when you get through the 3 levels of fraternal energy, spousal energy, and paternal energy, and you learn how to tap into all 3 of them, you learn how to speak in your paternal energy when the motherfucker coming off crazy. You feel me? Otherwise, I remain in my fraternal energy, and it goes from playful to attack. You're just not gonna talk to me like that. You feel what I'm saying? And it creates this realm where we think we fuck with people that are balanced. Now, if this is the case, because now I'm gonna add in a little caveat that I wanted to talk about later down the line, but I got some smoke for y'all too, sisters. But this is gonna be in a regular episode, not a Frail Conversations, because I know y'all listening. But women, when we look at this hierarchy, right? When we look at how patriarchy develops hierarchy, women have hierarchy too. And this is something that I don't think we ever paid attention to, because when we look at the patriarchal side for the man, the hierarchy is about dominion, right? They're both about dominion, but for the hierarchy for the man is physical, protector, provider. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many women mad at their man can't fight? Look, lady, you can't get mad at a man can't fight. Like, so it's like, go to the gym, get stronger. It don't matter because you don't have it in you. I don't give a fuck about your muscles, nigga. I'm 6'2", 6'3", motherfucking, I'm like 160, 165. You feel me? But I beat niggas up with muscles. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It's like, your muscles don't mean shit because you ain't got that dog in you. Like, you just don't have it. Why? Because you're still a son. You're a son. You're not a man. You're a son. And it's okay because patriarchy made you that way. But you don't get it. You feel what I'm saying? Which doesn't make you a warrior. So this is why I'm saying that. Because for men, we have the protector and the provider. It's about the money. It's all of this shit. It's about the son being a certain status or whatever, but to have dominion. Women have dominion too. And this is where a lot of the problems come in with our arguments and our shit like that, because women have dominion too, but it's mental. Now, if you understood a lot of the shit that I talked about with So Frail and a lot of the older conversations where I was talking about how the mind is divided to emotions and thoughts, or whatever the case may be. So mental is not just, emotion. It's not just thought. Like, they're not smarter than us. They can't mature. They're not outthinking us. No, they're matured faster than us because they're given the dominion from the mental side. We're given the dominion from the physical side, and we're fighting for dominion over the spiritual side. That's why the relationships is trash, because our spirituality is denoted and controlled by what? Patriarchy, nigga. Motherfucking patriarchy, nigga. So patriarchy is in favor of men. So now women have to become seductresses or seducers. You feel what I'm saying? Because their dominion is mental. Their dominion is mental. Our dominion is physical. Their dominion is mental. You feel what I'm saying? This is why the Proverbs 31 woman is so potent. Like, women will say shit. They'll blatantly tell you they'll manipulate you. They're like, yo, if they say the trick is if you actually submissive, you'll get a man to do everything you want. It's not about you being submissive. It's about you have mental dominion. Now, here's the problem. This is why they paint the picture to have dumb fathers, dumb men. Look at the Homer Simpsons, the American Dads, the Peter Griffins. Like, when you look at the overall theme of how they want the man to set up as a father, this is why I love the black experiences that we got to watch with the Huxtables, motherfucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, motherfucking Family Matters. Those are the only 3 I know. But Family Matters even falls short because Harriet, they didn't operate as equals. Carl low-key operated as Harriet's son. Now you can't unsee what I exposed you to. You just can't unsee it. But Cliff Huxtable and Claire Huxtable, they were equals. They were man and woman. They weren't mother and son. Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, they were man and woman, not mother and son. But Carl Winslow and Harriet Winslow Harriet just had more than Carl. You see what I'm saying? And it was more so, she had the mother dynamic and he had the son, the good son. You feel what I'm saying? And these are the things that is part of what patriarchy develops. Because now, when you look at Proverbs 31. Even if you're Islamic and shit, just consider this because it's all they cousins, nigga. You feel me? Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, nigga. It's the same nigga, bro. Same shit. So you can learn from the other if you choose to open your mind. But if you look at the Proverbs 31 woman, it's like when I tell people, it's like, and I got a conversation with a motherfucker on Threads and shit, right? This shit was hilarious. So, because it's like niggas don't read, and they don't read, they don't comprehend, so they don't critically think. So I posted, I was like, I said Proverbs 31 woman. I said the Proverbs 31 woman is a letter from a mother, a single mother, to her son about the woman he should date. In real time, we criticize that. Oh, that's a mama's boy. That's not somebody I should listen to. You know what I'm saying? Women want to be a Proverbs 31 woman. You feel me? So the mother is telling her son the type of woman that he needs to have. Patriarchy is about making sure boys become sons. Proverbs 31 is about a mother telling a son what type of woman he needs to have. So now motherfuckers is like, how do you know she was a single mother? Because her son is the king. What does that mean? Well, if her son is the king, that makes her the queen, right? That means that the king that once was died, and his son is no longer the prince, so he assumed the throne. That's why his name was King Lemuel or something like that, Lemuel, right? He had become a king. So that means that if the father is not there, if there is no king, and he's the king as the son, that means the father is either dead or he's absent. Which means the mother would have been a widowed queen, which makes her a what? A single mother. See how when you emotionally charge the shit, you can't logically think about it. But then when you have not comprehended anything beyond the 6th grade fucking level, you don't realize the level that it was actually written at to actually tell you the story. Hey, bro, for real though, at some point we got to stop talking to women about masculinity and start talking to each other about it. And I mean really talk to each other. Not as enablers and co-signers, but as men trying to reach the pinnacle of our essence. And that's what the So Frail series does. So Frail 1 is the definition. So Frail 2 is the acknowledgement. And So Frail 3 is the resolution. If you rock with the So Frail conversations, I can guarantee you will rock with the So Frail series of books. So visit IamJustSaying.com right now so you can add the series to your library. I promise you will never look at masculinity the same again, and you're going to stop wasting your time arguing with women about it. This is a conversation that men need to have between men, and it's time we start having this conversation now. So when the average woman wants to be this submissive woman that's defined in Proverbs 31, what do you think what kind of man do you think she has to find? A son. A son. It's not a father. The Proverbs 31 is not a father telling his son how to become a man and find the one. No, it's like remain a son. And this is the type of woman that you need to be with as a son. As a son. Hear me well. As a motherfucking son, this is the type of woman you need. A submissive woman. Do you know why you need a submissive woman? So that way your mother doesn't lose power in your life. I told y'all I got a dope vision, and I can see things that have been connected and ain't been connected that nobody just sees as already connected. You feel what I'm saying? So now when we go to the patriarchy, and I'm gonna tie it into the genetics and bring it in, because now when we look at the concept of a monster-in-law, that was never anybody with dominant genetics. The monster-in-law concept, bridezilla, all of these different things, where do they come from? Them. The media and the imageries that we constantly see has infused it into everybody else's culture, but nigga, that's their shit. And this is what pisses me off when I see certain rhetorics where they say, "Oh, that's Western." No, that's white people shit. Stop calling it Western. It's white people shit. That's what it is. It's recessive genetic shit. That's not Western ideology, because now it seems like everybody in the West is like that. No, nigga, that's white people. That's people with recessive genetics that act like this, that think like this, because of patriarchy. And patriarchy, recessive genetics, all of that shit ties in, and that's where you get your religion. Which is why you end up getting misogyny. It's the hatred of women by way of the competition between men. You see what I'm saying? Like now, when you go to the patriarchy side, when you see a son observing a man, the fuck? Why do you think fathers be getting upset when their sons are interacting and learning with another? Like, it's like, oh, he's teaching you to become a man. that I'm supposed to be. No, I'm supposed to make you stay a son, and I don't even know that that's what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? I want you to be. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas really be mad when they son is like if I see my son getting mentorship or well, not mentorship. I don't want to say that because of the word of what mentor is. Again, some shit that the Greeks and the Romans used to do. A mentor, a father-son relationship, but it became sexual. Shit's crazy. That's what pedophilia is. Like shit's weird with these niggas, bro. It's weird with these niggas. These genetically recessive niggas, bro. It's weird with them. But that's where patriarchy comes from with them. You feel me? Patriarchy comes from them. But if I see that my son is getting guidance from another man and it's making him sharper, it's helping him go in the way that he should be going, how am I going to get mad? I'm fucking him up. Like you be seeing like movies and shit where the basketball coaches like, you know, don't tell my son that. Like, no, sit your fucking ass down. I'm coaching him. You're not the coach. I'm the coach. You're the father watching the game. I don't give a fuck if you used to play and you blew your ACL out and shit, nigga. I'm coaching him now. Sit the fuck down because you want your son to be you. You want your son to repeat what you couldn't. You want your son to have the career in which he doesn't tear his ACL and he goes on to be. He don't want to do that shit. He don't want to do what you failed at. And it's real. It's fucked up as it sounds. He don't want to do what you failed at. He's not here to do what you failed at. He's here to do what he will succeed at. But you trying to make him do what you failed at. Now he gonna fail twice because all you can show him is the blueprint to fail. Because why did you tear your ACL? Why did you tear your ACL? And I know it's gonna seem like, oh nigga, it was just that, you know, you turned wrong or whatever the case may be. Were you conditioned properly? Like there's little things that happen. You feel me? And I like to use this example because he was phenomenal. But we seen it going to happen. You feel what I'm saying? We seen it going to happen when Derrick Rose fucked his knees up. You feel me? He was explosive as fuck. Like that nigga was explosive as fuck. Derrick Rose was a monster. Fucking monster. Fucked his knees up. But you kind of seen it coming the way he jumped. Like nigga, he literally jumped from anywhere. Like jumped in any kind of movement. You feel me? So it's almost like I could see that tear happening. I could see that situation happening because of the way in which you play. You feel me? It's kind of like that's what it was. When we look at when Kobe tore his Achilles, they're like, well, no, Achilles tear doesn't just happen. Now it's years and years and years and years of stiffening for a tendon to tear. Tendons attach bone to muscle. So for a tendon to tear, that tendon has to be so tight and doesn't have any fluidity. When you're constantly playing, and you're not stretching your muscles. Now I get it. Kobe would stretch or whatever the case may be. Muscles aren't meant to be contracted so heavily because what happens with the contraction is it stiffens the tendons to the point where if the wrong move happened, it'll snap. So there's a reason for everything. You feel what I'm saying? So now when you trying to live in your glory days and shit, yeah, I used to be this, that, and the third back in high school, but then I tore my ACL. Okay, why? Because now you're going to just have your son. Okay, now if you coach, you just do everything better than I. No. You tore your ACL because you did some stupid shit. Sometimes it might not have been stupid shit, but you did something that went against the body and made the ACL tear. Did you prepare your knees? Were your knees strong enough? Did you strengthen the joints around your knees? Did you understand anatomy enough to know how to stabilize an ACL? No, you were 17 years old. How the fuck could you have known? You didn't know anatomy and physiology. You know why you didn't know anatomy and physiology? Because you just went there to get a C. You just went to school so that way you can pass to play sports, not to learn anything else, not to go and study science and look at the anatomy and physiology of, I want to know the best possible way to fully understand the vessel that I'm going to be using every single Friday night or every single Tuesday night. I'm going to be using this vessel all the time. I think I should know it the best. I shouldn't rely on a motherfucker to tell me what I should be doing. I think I should know it from beginning to end. I think I should know it from nerve, artery, and vein. I think I should know every single muscle, the attachment, the insertions, and everything if I'm going to use this to the maximum capacity. I'm going to be a son and look for a father to tell me. You like how I keep bringing this shit back. This is patriarchy, my nigga. This is patriarchy. And so now when we have this reality that's creating sons, what are you looking for in a woman? A mother. It's not hard. It's not difficult. This is some shit that I literally had to come to terms with. Like, I be getting in relationships and trying to talk to women and shit. And it's like, I'm not your son. But I get it. You're still tied to patriarchy. It benefits you in certain regards and you don't realize it. You hate misogyny. You hate the aspects of patriarchy that give men dominion, but you don't hate the aspects of patriarchy that give you dominion. You feel me? Which means you like having the mother-son relationship. Because what is a mother? Nurturing and sustaining. Just how, men are protectors and providers. Women are supposed to be nurturing and sustaining. What are you nurturing and sustaining? But now when you have the mental dominion over nurturing and sustaining, now you control me. You feel what I'm saying? And this is what I was meaning with the conversation. I'm like, I'm not attached to patriarchy, so I don't approach this relationship as a patriarchal man. I'm not a son. You're not gonna son me. Like, you have to, so I would always involve myself with women who I just need to be, no. I can't, I'm not just motivating you like a son cheering you on. No, baby girl. I'm going to do the steps and say, here's what needs to be done as a man. Now, when you are not keeping up, like, I'm not just going to keep motivating you to do shit. No, I need to see action or I'm leaving. You zesty. You sassy. No, nigga, we don't play. Men don't play. The boys do. The sons do. Because, you can get it later. You'll get it later. Niggas be like, and this is one of the things I've talked to women. And this is when I started to really realize it and how wired it is, because especially when they came from a religion or they have that patriarchal side into them, they would be like, you're too hard on yourself. No, I'm not. This is what's required. This is the pressure I need to make a diamond. The diamond that I want to make, this is the pressure that I need. Now, when you constantly being reassured by a woman, this is not me shitting on women or whatever the case may be. This is me shitting on the programming that patriarchy puts in women. It creates sons. Because when you're talking to women and they're, don't be so hard on yourself. You can take a break. You can do this. You can get completely off your motherfucking track and thrown completely off of life. This is why the Jezebel spirit is so bad. This is why the Delilah spirit is so bad. This is why women are so fucked up in religions, because they're not fucking up men. They're fucking up sons. I'm going to do a dramatic pause with that shit. Go back and read the religious text of whatever it is that you follow and read the stories of when it's the downfall for men. It's sons. It's sons that are being fucked over. It's niggas that are built as sons, not as men. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why they go through the shit that they go through. Samson wasn't no grown ass man. That's why Delilah was able to get his hair cut off. And speaking of that, I had an episode. I was just re-listening to that shit too, where I was saying the story was Samson and Jezebel. It wasn't. Jezebel's spirit is tied into it, but it was Samson and Delilah. But you feel me? I know niggas. Nigga, he think he know. No, I fucked up. I said it wrong. I did. But fuck it. It was already recorded. But you knew what the fuck I was talking about. But Samson and Delilah. You feel me? That was a son. That's why he knew the pill. Like, that was a son, my nigga. That was a boy who became a son. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nah, nigga, like a man would have seen that shit. You dig what I'm saying? King David, like, look at the stories of a lot of these men. It's sons. Even down to the story of Jesus. That one was wild because it's like, I feel like that was some arrogant shit on God's behalf. Because it's like, nigga, I'm going to, like, if Joseph is my son too, nigga, like, I'm gonna fuck your bitch. Like, nigga, I'm gonna get her pregnant with the Holy Ghost, nigga. It's like, that's some fucked up shit. Patriarchy is weird, nigga. Patriarchy is wild when it's codified in religion. And this is what I be saying, like, patriarchy is the standard. Like, religion is patriarchy is the cult. Religion is the doctrine of the cult, and the church and the temple or whatever is where the cult is practiced. Patriarchy is the cult, but the cult is to make sure boys become sons, not men. You feel what I'm saying? And we're going to ensure and guarantee that you become men by the women, because you're going to become the vagina. You're going to follow the religious doctrine, the spiritual doctrine of the vagina that you come out of, or the vagina that you go into. You feel what I'm saying? 2 birds, 1 stone. If I can create a deep faith within women, Father God, love Father, Father this, Father that, Father that. If I can give her a fucked up relationship with her father, I can send her to church. I can send her to Christianity. I can send her to Islam. I can send her into these places. I can send her into a patriarchal doctrine. This is what it be getting me. I'm like, y'all can't be against patriarchy. Y'all can't be against patriarchy and still fuck with the very thing that starts it all. Y'all niggas is creating the image and likeness of a man. They don't even get it. That's patriarchal. That's patriarchy shit. You feel me? So I'm gonna fuck up your relationship with men. Not realizing that I'm creating sons the whole time. There are no men. We're calling them men, but they're all sons. You know, words and shit, semantics. But now the women, you're gonna keep the pipeline open. This is one of the things that I'm saying. It's like, yo, how you go left to here? But trust me, we can go left. The only thing more racist than a white man is the womb that birthed them. Look at the society that we're in right now. These aren't men. These are sons. From the president all the way down. These are sons. These aren't men. These are sons. Look at every mannerism, everything that they do, every action. These are sons. These are sons. The doctrine of the Constitution and shit, it references forefathers and it represents the sons of the country. You were never supposed to get out of patriarchy because it's the mentality that welds the Constitution together. This is why you're a nation under God, because we're going to make sure that the men remain sons. They keep asking where the men at, where the real men at. They've been asking that for a long time. Why are men just going along? Why don't men fight? Why don't men do this? Because they're sons. They're not men. They don't know that they're sons, though. When you have to ask a man permission, your supervisor, whatever the case may be, you have to ask them for permission to use your abilities. Something's wrong. But they need that because if men, the masculine men, not the patriarchal sons, the masculine men, if the masculine men are able to emerge, this shit shuts down. But it's not enough masculine men because there's way too many patriarchal sons. When you look at these niggas that are high value, they're sons. Who gave you your value? A nigga on the internet told you had value, so that's what gave you your motherfucking value? No, bitch, ain't nothing high value about that. You're still a son. You need permission. You feel what I'm saying? Now, the women, I need a man who's going to be X, Y, and Z. I need a man who's a good son. Because I'll submit, like, I love her to life, you know, from a music perspective and shit. I don't know her personally, but I love her to life. Jill Scott, when she said, if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. If you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. If you're a man, I'll listen. If you're a son, I won't. Real shit. And I'm telling you, this is experience. Women have been preparing themselves for sons for so long, they can't be with men. I'm doing a dramatic pause with that shit. Like they can't be with men. And some of us have been sons. We have followed a doctrine that has developed as a sons for so long that we don't know what an actual man is. So when we get with our women and shit, and some of us emerge and we start to become the man, and we like, why she don't listen? Why she don't listen? Does your mama listen to you? Sit with that. Does your mama listen to you? No. Let's keep it 100. Like, you can't tell your mama to shut the fuck up if she wildin'. You won't tell your mama to shut the fuck up if she wildin' and she doing some shit. Why? Because you're the son. You feel me? You're the motherfucking son, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm not telling you to go cuss your mama out, be disrespectful and no shit like that. By no means am I saying that shit. Don't be stupid. Please don't be stupid. But at the same time, that's the dynamic that is built under patriarchy for you to be a son. So now you're gonna go find a woman who treats you like who? Your mama. Because they're looking for men to treat them like who? Their daddy, but their daddy's gone. Because they don't understand that their daddy was a son. They're calling him daddy, or whatever case may be, but they know that they're missing that paternal energy. This is why when I talk about, to the literacy point, you have to read So Frail 3 and So Frail 2. But when I talked about the different energies, paternal energy, spousal energy, paternal energy, this is why I was explicit in naming them. Because you can have, this man can be your father and have no paternal energy. So now you're going out seeking it from another man and you're willing to call it like, I'm like, yo, you got a father. Don't call me daddy. But I'm not calling you. No. There's something there that you don't know is there. Because your father was a son. Your father was a son, and you won't admit it. You won't live up to it, and you won't own it because you don't understand the systems of, he's a son. He's a fucking son. He's a son. And then it's like, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You feel me? And this is like, not to point fingers like I'm holier than thou or I'm some better motherfucking shit. My father was a son. My father was a son. It's that simple. Like, I'm not shitting on it because I understood patriarchy. And because you benefit from patriarchy. Now, as a son, what kind of women are you going to attract? Mothers or children? This is why I be confused. Like, when women be like, niggas that teach you the shit, nigga. Get you a younger girl. You're going to have to get you a younger woman. They say women mature faster than men. They don't. But women are actually matured faster because under patriarchy, women are catered to become mothers. Boys are catered to become sons. Patriarchy, in addition to making turning boys to sons, it doesn't turn girls to women. It turns daughters into mothers. This is patriarchy, nigga. Patriarchy rules, nigga. This is how it works. Nobody sees it working like this because nobody thinks it's supposed to work like this because there's so many buffers and layers in this shit. They think it's normal. Women are more mature than men. So now you end up having a son and a mother relationship. I don't be making up the rules and just be saying shit off my ass, yo, and I'm be playing like, nigga, you can't tell me y'all don't see this shit. You can't tell me y'all don't see this shit. So it's like women be like, yo, where the real men at? Why? Like, you want a son who listens. That's all. Because you're designed to. This is why I say you don't want a man who's leading you. You want a man who's in the lead, which is you want a son that you can cheer for. You want a son who's like, you want that son energy. I done like when I had my cougar phase and shit, they would be shocked. Like, we're not even like there's men my age that aren't even talking like you talking. They're sons, nigga. I'm not a son. I'm a grown ass motherfucking man. I'm a masculine man at that. I'm not a patriarchal son. The fuck Father Abraham, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? You know what I mean? And I say that in a way that it's disrespectful, nigga. Fuck it, nigga. But hey, I say it how it's supposed to be said. Fuck that nigga, bro. Fuck patriarchy. Fuck that system, because it's like that system doesn't make us men. It makes us sons. That system doesn't make our girls women. It makes them mothers. And we wonder why we don't connect. And we wonder why every time we get into a relationship with a motherfucker, she talking down on us and shit like that. Because you're a son, she's the mother. It's designed this way, nigga. That's how patriarchy works. You feel what I'm saying? Because genetically, I know it seemed like I wasn't going to get back to this, but genetically it's because the people with recessive genetics need a religion to survive. When we look at this entire war, yes, it's a fucking war. There's a war between genetics. When we look at this entire war, all of this is necessary because we will win. It's just natural. Nature favors us, doesn't favor them. We didn't need patriarchy because we had matriarchy. The reason why we had matriarchy was, well, in matriarchy, men were polygamous. Men had multiple girlfriends, multiple wives. No, multiple women shared the same man because he had the dominant genetics. When you try to view patriarchy through the matriarchal lens, you kind of fuck it up because you can't see it the way it's meant to be seen. You feel what I'm saying? So while you thinking it was one nigga with a had hoes, no, nigga. All of the queens, all of the dominant genetics, all of the women that were, we need our lineage preserved. We want our matriarchal energy to preserve with that particular man. Now we only want the upper echelonians. But now it fucked up because nature's no longer in the question, and now money is, status is, essence is, because this was the trade. As melanated people, you melanated people, the dominant genetics people, we never needed currency because we had essence. We still got it. You can see it dripping. You feel me? Everybody want to be from the hood. Like when niggas be like, yo, I was raised by black people. Why were you always raised around black people that were from the hood? Like, nigga, like, why is it always the hood? Because it's the reason why. The hood is where the this is gonna fuck y'all up, but I hope it don't fuck y'all up. The hood, the ghettos, the slums, the bottoms, wherever you are and you black and you from those areas, whether it be on America, on Africa, Australia, whatever continent you from, wherever you see it concentrated within the slums, the black people, which develops the hood, that's where the genetics are the strongest. That's where the genetics are the strongest. That's where the genetics are the most dominant. And I get it, as black people, we all have dominant genetics. I'm not denying that. Like, nigga, it's us. We are, but within the genetics themselves, when you start to look at the delineations, they make sure to concentrate it in certain areas. Because if it's on par, poverty and all that, like poverty only works because of where the genetics are. Now, if you come out of it, now we're going to extract that wealth from you. Because we don't want you to make any form of connection. It's easier to buy somebody who has nothing. You know, but now we're going to extract that. So it's like, how come when niggas leave out of the hood and they get it with the white girl, is designed that way? Because it's patriarchy. Because we need to make sure that we can preserve our genetics. We would rather have one of you that can actually, you know, have what we have and merge, and we can dilute that faster. But if all of you have it, it's not fair. Because we know what the women want. We know what these bitches want from a nigga. I'm being dramatic as fuck. But we know this shit because we create this shit because this is a patriarchal society. Now, under a matriarchal society, you feel me? The women only go for the dominant genetics. They only go for what's dominant. White people don't last. Because white men are not, this is why rape has to be a thing. This is why rape culture, missionary, like all of this shit is designed under their structures. It has to, because they don't survive any other way. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like this is genetic, and this is why misogyny now develops, because it's like, why do I hate these women? Because you have to hate women, because women naturally, if you look at anywhere across nature, they're going to pick the male, the man that has the most genetics, that has the most sound genetics, that makes the most sense. You're tall, you're muscular, you got a beard, motherfucker, you intelligent, you smart, you got a good job and all of this shit. And if I need a man with 6 figures, like, they unconsciously tell us all the time they need the alpha. They unconsciously tell us they need the strongest genetics. But because they put so much buffers up with patriarchy, we think that we limit it to status and aesthetic. Take all of that shit off. Take it all off. If we lose it all today, we will see who's really who. And this is why matriarchy was what it was before patriarchy had to come in and infuse it, because matriarchy ensured that you became men. Now I get it. When I was just talking about patriarchy, and it's like, well, patriarchy, no, it's not just about man alone. Patriarchy is the system that makes sure boys become sons. Masculinity, and I'm going to tell you why. Masculinity is where boys become men, right? Patriarchy is designed this way because it is built off of hierarchy. Matriarchy is built off of harmony. There's no threat if a man becomes a man. You feel what I'm saying? So in that same, because there is harmony, it's not based off dominion and hierarchy. Well, it's not based off hierarchy, which leads men to be dominion and women to be submissive or whatever. It is based off harmony, which creates masculinity and femininity. Masculinity, the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment, the essence of analysis and deconstruction. Femininity, the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment, the essence of synthesis and construction. You feel me? Our women are not supposed to be in the spaces of being manipulators, but they have to be in dominion because that's how they have to survive in the patriarchy. I can't knock it. Because now when you have dominion, the dominion for men is physical. The dominion for women is mental. But now when you understand that, and you understand how matriarchy worked. Matriarchy wasn't women leading. And see, this is what I be saying, because the women be looking stupid when they talk about this. And I'm saying that because it's so for a conversation. You know, I'd be dramatic. Y'all shouldn't be listening anyway. I done said that like shit like 3 times. The fuck. But anyway, women are they're trying to view matriarchy through the patriarchal lens. So literally they rebrand. This is how feminism worked. Feminism is no different than misogyny. It's the same shit because it's all rooted under patriarchy. Like, if you don't understand the roots of the shit, it don't matter what color you make the fruit or how the fruit changes, nigga, the roots are the same. Do you dig what I'm saying? So now when women say, we need to get back to patriarchy, the future is female, it's not. It's not. Because now when you understand matriarchy, you have to understand matriarchy the right way. What is matriarchy? If you're viewing matriarchy as the system that turns boys to men, you feel me, under matriarchy, because it's like you're naturally in a harmony that builds it. But if you view it from the same perspective under the system that turns boys to sons, what do you think you're gonna get? The same type of women that are here in feminism. You know, you're gonna create the homosexual boys. You're gonna create and this is what I was talking about when I said respect. What women respect us for is what we become. What women respect us for is what we become. You feel what I'm saying? We can say, well, women don't respect fuckboys. Yes, they do. Because they keep having babies with them. You feel me? But it's something about the fuckboy that has a disconnect. Because the fuckboy is the nigga that's supposed to be the man, but he's been made a son. Because his genetics are dominant. He's the nigga that everybody want. His pheromones are on point. He's fertile. He's like, look at Future having 14 kids or something, however many he got. How? Why? It's like, they say you got to be a cold motherfucker to convince a motherfucker. You got to be a cold motherfucker. If you can convince a woman and you already got 3 babies that happen to be the 3rd baby mama or some shit like that, it's like, you cold motherfucker. You're just matriarchal. And they're all matriarchal and forgot what matriarchy was. Because the women are going to have babies. They're going to create lineages off of the man with the strongest lineage. Under patriarchy, that shit is vilified. What we call them women? Hoes. What we call them women? Stupid. We call them women all kind of shit for wanting to be able to create, and not only create, but be comfortable sharing the strongest genetics, knowing that we're continuing bloodlines. We're making sure we don't go extinct. You feel what I'm saying? Under patriarchy, that's just a no-go. Now you go for who has the most status. The son with the most status. Not the essence. Matriarchy, it's weird because as I'm saying, it's like I'm seeing light. I'm seeing like summer on one side, like fall and winter on the other. Like when I'm talking about patriarchy, I see winter. But when I see matriarchy, I see summer and shit. It's weird. But when we look at matriarchy, right, matriarchy is about essence. The man with the most essence, strongest genetics, and the most essence is the one everybody wants. You feel me? Patriarchy, the man with the most status, the most shit, is the one everybody wants. Now, only one of those is becoming a man. Do you know why? Because as a man, I now have to, and this is where it gets to, do you chase or not? Because under patriarchy, you have to chase. A man that finds a wife finds a good thing. Men pursue. Sons pursue, nigga. Not sons. Not sons pursue. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to really start wrapping up. Sons pursue. Men attract. If you ever heard, or if you ever followed me long enough and you've seen a post or whatever the case may be, it's going to make sense right here with this entire situation. The sons are the cheetahs. They're the ones who have to go chase the girls. They have to put in the work and hope they get her, whatever the case may be. And this is why I always gave this example. In your first phase of life, before you mature, if you mature, you are the hunter. You are the hunter who chases women. You're the hunter who runs after women. You have the hunter who has to keep putting yourself in a position. You have to drive a certain car. You have to have the certain money. You have to have a certain status in order to get them. Excuse me. That you'll never change that. That is patriarchy. which means in order for it to work, you have to go for what's weak. You feel what I'm saying? A cheetah can run 75 miles per hour. However, it's not going to chase anything that can run 80. You dig what I'm saying? It's not going to chase anything that's going to run 80. It's not going to chase anything that's healthy enough to get away. And we wonder why pedophilia is what it is. We wonder why motherfuckers fuck with younger girls. We wonder why all of this shit. Because I can't fuck with anybody that can get away. It's patriarchy. It's a system. And now I can't fuck with women that are my age that can actually make me a man, that can do anything like that. And I'm not saying women should be making men, because men should be doing that. Hence why we're having this conversation. But what I'm saying is, I can't fuck with women who actually bring the man out of me. I can only fuck with women who sustain the son in me. You feel what I'm saying? And want to sustain the son in me. Typically, they're going to be younger. Because they think, because I'm older, I'm more mature, and we're on the same, like, niggas would be blowing my mind and shit, and they're like, yo, she's mature for her age. No, nigga, you're a son. You're not a man. You're a son. You 33, she's 26, you're a son, and y'all are in the same bracket. But again, it turns our daughters into mothers. See how that work? But that's patriarchy. It doesn't just negatively impact men, it negatively impacts women too. Now, matriarchy on the other hand, men are spiders. Men are spiders. They build webs that attract women. We don't chase. And I'm saying this, I've been on both sides, nigga. And I've been on both sides, but I've always been matriarchal in a way. But I've always been against patriarchy too. Like, I always had hoes. Always. And I could always get hoes. But I always exhibited my essence. And that's what made hoes love me. They love me. Women love me, nigga. Hoes, women, bitches, skip, scap, scalawags, whatever the fuck you want to call them these days. I'm dramatic. They fucking love me, nigga. But they love my essence. They love my essence. And I had essence long before I had status. So it never bothered me. You feel me? But again, for the other side of that, those who become sons end up chasing, but those who become men end up building. You build webs like spiders. You feel me? And this was something that I actually had to observe for myself. It was like, yo, niggas always be like, yo, how are the girls always coming around you, whatever the case? It's my web, nigga. Like, nigga, I remember we was at first time my homie seen it. Because these niggas knew I got girls and shit. They knew I would get them. But then he was like, yo, nigga, I don't think you get hoes like that, nigga. I do. I do, but I don't get hoes like y'all get hoes. Because y'all, it's like, y'all, everything you see, you go chase. I put myself in a position to be magnetized towards. So it always looks like I'm going for the women, and they're like, no, they came to me. And this is not on and this is where the problem comes in, because women see that, and if they're seeing it from the perspective under patriarchy, it's still like where the son is supposed to chase. I'm not chasing no man. I didn't tell you to chase me, but you're not leaving this well. I magnetized you. You think you came? You think I came to you? No. The magnetic pull happened, and you just came on to me, and then I cultivated it. I didn't chase you. You also didn't chase me. But again, if you're looking at it from patriarchy, you don't get it. I was having a conversation on social media, and a motherfucker was like, I had made a post. This was on my old page, and it was like, yo, women shoot they shot by staring. It's like, Joe, don't stare, just come speak. And the motherfucker was like, so you want women to chase you? No, nigga, if I have not showed interest in you in any way, shape, or form, and you just staring from across the room, and I catch you staring at me, like, I'm going to think something's wrong with you. Why? Because I'm not a person who's in constant pursuit of women. I know I magnetize them. I know why I feel you looking at me. From the moment I walked in, from when I walked past you, what I had on, what I smelled like, all of that shit, it got you. And then when you see me sit down and we want to look across, like, I made your eyes follow me the whole time, nigga. I do this. This is man talk, so I can say this shit because I like doing it. But I do this. I do this, bro. Like, for real. I've been doing it since I was a kid. But I know how to explain what it is now. You feel me? So when you get to that level, you make the web. They come into your space. Like, they don't get that. Some women don't get that. Their narcissism and their own arrogance won't let them see that if they're stuck under patriarchy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I be telling women, it's like, they're like, yo, you're like, I become their standard and shit. And it's like, yo, all the women in my space are like you. You're like, I don't be trying to be funny and shit. I'm like, yo, you're not gonna find a nigga like me, bro. You can try. You feel me? Like that's why it's like, you gotta be careful when you ask the universe for certain shit. Because I've been putting in a lot of women's lives to show them that, you know, there's some men that are really men. There's some men that are sons. And you have to realize what you're experiencing and learn the lesson while it's being given to you. You feel me? So I'm showing them, like, they're like, yo, I know, you know, you fucking with, right now you're my type because you're in the web. Like, you landed. It's like, you feel me? But that's where the insecurity comes in. A lot of women don't tell their side of the story. Like, it's easy when you're used to men always chasing you and everything. They're used to the men chasing them and all of that other shit. And they can say, you know, I got to turn him down. I got to turn him down. But what happens when you get pulled into a web that you can't leave? They don't want to tell that part. Oh, nigga, he's toxic. He's a warlock. He's narcissistic. He's all of this shit. No. He might be all of those things, but at the same time, he built the web and he got you in it. Where you're used to men chasing you. It's easy to run from a motherfucker that you're chasing, but it's hard to get out of a web that you walked into. But that's when it is to become a man. Now, it's not to say exploit women, become a warlock and put them in webs and shit. No, nigga, listen, god damn it. When you are in that space, you know, you build and you allow what comes and you say, okay, this can stay. This can't. This can be here. This can't. You're going to find how many women really don't have the self-esteem and the confidence that they are putting out on social media. And they will come off negatively towards you as if something's wrong with you for you being in that space. You smell me? Like, this is real shit. And they'll go off and they'll say, okay, now I'm going to go be poly. I'm going to go be all of these things. I'm embracing my sexuality. I was in a web with a man that didn't operate in patriarchy and didn't know it. But I didn't know how to operate out of anything not patriarchy. So because of the son mentality and the pursuit, it's like, now you got to treat me like a mother, treat me like a goddess, treat me like all of these things. They'll tell you, get on social media and watch the women who call themselves God. Like, they'll tell you, show up, you know, if you're going to approach a goddess, you got to have an offering. You tell a son that shit. You can't talk to a god like that. You're a goddess, I'm a god. What do you mean? That's why you're here. That's why you're here. But now they don't realize that a lot of the shit they haven't prepared for. So this is the point that I was making with that. When you are in that sun space, you have to chase everything. So you're chasing the baddest. No, but when you start to attract and all the baddest ones are the same, it hit different. Like, I was having a conversation with a homeboy, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to wrap it up because this will bring it all full circle. I was having a conversation with a homie. He was like, yo, you got to put me on a shorty. You can't get the women I get. Nigga, what the fuck you saying? Nigga, I'm telling you the truth. You can't get the women I get. You can't get them. You can't have them. You can't keep them. I'm not putting you in that space. Nigga, what you mean, man? She bad, nigga. I got money. It ain't about the money, nigga. You are a son. I ain't say this to him, but this is how I'm calibrating it now, and I'm using this previous situation in hindsight to level everything out. It's like, yo, mentally you on some son shit. You're patriarchal. I'm not. I built a web. I built a web so much so that I can attract whatever woman I want, and I can attract the woman that I want and I need in my life. You have to chase the woman that you desire. I can attract the woman that desires me. I said that to be dramatic. But I can attract the woman that's supposed to be in the web. If she don't land in the web, I'm not tripping. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, you can't have the women that I get. Nigga, what you trying to say, nigga? You trying to call me ugly or something, nigga? No, I would never call another man ugly. Nigga, no. The fuck? You can't get the women that I get. It has nothing to do with our jobs. Has nothing to do with our statuses. Has nothing to do with none of that shit. Has everything to do with our essence. I have built a web that women can't escape. You're still chasing hoes, bro. We'll never be the same. And I had to come to terms with that as I got older, because it's like, these niggas got to keep chasing younger and younger and younger. And I was a motherfucker who would bring older and older into my web. They like, yo, how you be getting all the cougars, nigga? I'm him. I'm him. Like I'm not. It's not me bullshitting. I'm that nigga, bro. Like I'm that nigga, bro. I don't have to showcase it because I am. Like when niggas be like, yo, why all the girls, all the women be following you and shit like this? It's like, because I'm that nigga, bro. Like, why wouldn't they? But it's because I have created a web. But I've always had essence, and I've always been at the dominant end of the deepest end of the gene pool. And when you have that, some women want to be matriarchal. They want to align with matriarchy. They have not defined it any other way other than patriarchy. So a lot of them are be confused at the shit. Some women hate that, you know, they're calling the women pick-me's and shit like that, or this, that, and the third. Whatever. Simps and pick-me's are, in my opinion, some of the only people that are not operating under patriarchy. And motherfuckers hate it. You feel me? Motherfuckers hate it. And women will get mad at other women who are like, oh, girl, you got stuck in that man web, decenter men, and all of this other goofy shit. You're centering men when you decenter men. You know how much energy it takes you to say that you got to keep decentering men and you don't fuck with men and you don't like, they're centered at that point. They're recentered a different way. You stupid. You look dumb. They look dumb as fuck. You know why? Because it's based off patriarchy. It's based off patriarchy. You don't decenter a son because a son is supposed to always be loyal and devoted to you as the mother. This is why under patriarchy, women beef so much. The fuck? They beef with their mothers, they beef with their daughters, they beef with their sisters, they beef so fucking much. But why are men able to get along? Because they're sons. It's all fraternal energy. It be right there, but it don't be right there. So now you got these women getting mad, and it's like, now women have, okay, well, we'll be with other women. We'll be this and that third. Now look at under patriarchy, how many different terminologies for shit has now developed, and pronouns and all of this shit. Cause patriarchy, nigga, that's really all of this shit is. That's really all of this shit is. And now motherfuckers are losing control of so much shit. But when we look at matriarchy and we look at our connection with women, we can look at our connection with society. Like when you become a man, you build. You don't chase, you build. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it's like you get the men who are still, you know, patriarchal in mentality, like the Andrew Tates and all of them. And it's like, yo, I got money to stay a son. Now I'm going to go talk to other niggas about being sons. You can't talk to us over here. You can't talk to us over here. You can't have conversations with us over here. I got a jam session where I say, it's called Deepest Oceans. And I started off, we ain't worried about pools. We in the deepest oceans. So all you see is pee and all we see is motion. Open seas and islands, Olakun before Poseidon. Boy, we vibing right into a new dawn. We paying with no coupons. What I meant in that entire scheme, of course, is like motherfuckers is talking about dating pools. Patriarchy. We in the deepest oceans. Matriarchy. You feel me? We're in a space now where we're not even chasing women. We've built shit enough that the women that are in our, like, that are coming to us are harmonizing with us. We don't have to chase them. We attract them. We attract them. So we have to be magnetic to do that. That's dangerous. And I said, so all you see is pee and all we see is motion. Then I said, open seas and islands, Olakun before Poseidon. That was a delineating thing because Poseidon is a Greek god. Patriarchy, established under Caucasian recessive genetics. Olakun is a black god. You feel me? Olakun has a wife. Poseidon don't. Olakun has a pairing with a feminine energy. You feel me? Poseidon don't. It's a reason for that. It's a reason for that because it's about sons and shit. This is why, like, when you look at the Greek gods, Zeus is the only nigga that got hoes. Everybody else seems to have kids, but they don't have wives. You feel me? Because it's built that way. It's built that way because it's about getting the women to act like mothers. But on the other side of that, when we look at our cultures, when we look at our histories, and we look at the things that our people actually exhibited, it was all off of matriarchy, based off of knowing that it's about mitochondrial DNA, which means that it was about survival of the fittest. Which means that all of the creations, all of the babies and the shit like that were developed weren't out of rape. They weren't out of destitution. They were out of, we're going to create the strongest lineage. That's where the idea of a god came from. They weren't just randomly fucking people. They were fucking the absolute greatest genetics of that particular space. And because women carried the wombs, and it's like, okay, cool. This woman is going to breed and have a baby with this man. This woman is going to have a baby with this man because these things make sense. You feel me? So when we look at polygamy, we also have to look at polygyny. That's why it ends up polyamorous. But when we look at that shit, these things are naturally in us, but we have the discipline and the understanding outside of patriarchy. Trying to understand polygamy through the patriarchal lens is what's fucking niggas up. Why do you think men have so much sperm if we're not supposed to be? No. You have that much sperm because you're supposed to cater it to only the women of the upper echelon. It's niggas that, respectfully, it's niggas that used to bite people that think they supposed to have multiple kids. Nigga, no. That's not how the shit works. Because they got status. Because they under patriarchy. And they got recessive genetics. They are at the bottom of the gene pool. But they got status enough to make something shake. Which makes no sense. Because that's not how this shit is supposed to go. But because of patriarchy, that's how this shit is. And don't forget to check out Patriarchy clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Patriarchy clothing. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Yeah, nigga. Patriarchy rules. That's what it is. Like, if you want to understand patriarchy, you got to understand genetics. And that's going to make you understand matriarchy as well. You know? And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to, like I said, when I went to the other side and I went with a blank slate. So I was able to see shit that a lot of motherfuckers can't see. So now I'm able to tell y'all shit. Like, I had a homie tell me, she was like, bro, you don't learn nothing. You just remember, don't you? I said, yeah, I kind of do. I said, and it's like, I have to study it. Don't get me wrong. I can't just pull it out my ass. I have to go find it in some actual literature. I got to read. I got to study. I got to put the pieces together. But most of it is remembering. That's why it happened so fast. And it's because I went to the other side or whatever. But a lot of the shit that I saw makes me see different shit here. So it's like, when I look at patriarchy, it's like motherfuckers will ask me, like, why did you fuck? I had somebody ask me, why did you give up religion? I said, I can't go back to religion. Why? I said, because I can't be patriarchal or misogynistic. It's like, you can't, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't say, okay, men don't need to be misogynistic no more. Men need to give up patriarchy, but still follow the religion, still believe in the God, still believe in all of the shit the same way. No, nigga, that's what makes it work. Patriarchy is the cult. Religion is how the cult is practiced. Misogyny is the byproduct of that shit. The misogyny is the byproduct of the cult only catering still to a certain hierarchy. You hate niggas that get bitches, but because you're not a man, you're a son. You gotta act like you don't care about the niggas. You got a problem with the woman. Like when I was young, like, you feel me? Niggas be like, I'm not fighting over no bitch. I will. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like, I will fight over a bitch, nigga. Like, you got me fucked up. Like, you feel me? I can never understand, like, nigga, because you're disrespecting me. Like, you're disrespecting me. And then it's like, now, there's other shit that it's like, well, if she wanted it, she would have went and shit. Like, nigga, I know how niggas be. I know how niggas, oh, nigga, I ain't know, man. Shoot this, then the third. It's like, still, when you know that a nigga got a girl and you still fuck her, you got to take what comes with that. I got a situation right now. I ain't fucking, I've been celibate, but I mean, when I say right now, this is how deep it goes, because I was 15 when it happened. I got a situation right now that this is how it's developed. When I was 15, there was this new girl, this shorty, she came from a new school. Well, she came from our rival school, whatever the case may be. The rival school ain't got shit to do with it, I'm just telling the story. But she came from our rival school, and she was in one of my classes. Now, mind you, she had a boyfriend. And I didn't know she had a boyfriend. Yes, I did, because she told me. But I didn't know she had a boyfriend when I first, we in class together, whatever the case may be. When I tell you, I'm that nigga, bro. It just, I got that shit that I don't got to put on. And I just be me. And it's like, it's something that shines off a nigga and shit. You feel me? My pheromones or something. I don't know, nigga. But next thing I know, motherfuckers just fall for me and shit. So we started talking and shit, and we eventually exchanged numbers, and I found out she had a boyfriend and shit. But I ended up fucking her before her boyfriend did. Now, mind you, this is we about to take finals and shit, and we about to take finals, and so it's like me and her had the same class. So she was like, yeah, I gotta go somewhere. So I was like, my brother or somebody gonna come pick me up from school. So they came and picked me up from school, and when the niggas picked me up from school, because it was like a half day because of finals and shit, she came back, and then it's like I ended up knocking her off. She ended up buying us pizza and shit. My cousin's like, now mind you, we're like 15, 16 years old. My cousin's like, nigga, how you got hoes in high school buying us the fam pizza and shit, nigga? And she was like, and she told my cousin, she said, oh, I got a boyfriend. I just want to fuck him first. And my cousin was like, nigga, you dangerous? He said, you dangerous, nigga? What the fuck is you? I said, nigga, I don't know. I just got it. You feel me? So, short story long, I ended up knocking her off or whatever the case may be. Come to find out, she was a virgin. I'd never had sex with virgins. I do not fuck virgins. I do not have sex with virgins. And I didn't know that she was a virgin because she told me that she was. She said she wasn't. But while I was in it, it was like I dehydrated. And I was like, oh. She was like, it's just because it's been a long time since I said, nah, don't give me that shit. You play me, bro. Like you're a virgin. I don't take virginity. I can't do it. I hate doing it because it's like I got so many bodies. It's not special. It's just not special. You feel me? So I never liked it, but I did it. I did it twice, actually. Same situation. Women telling me, yeah, I've been fucking and shit. And it's like, I'm in it. And it's like, now, you didn't get, like, why these niggas wasn't going as far? Like, what the fuck was going on? But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, anyway, short story longer. So, we knock off or whatever the case may be. I find out later that the boyfriend is the son of my mama's best friend. Now it's like, well, seeing if that's your mama best friend, then how you ain't know? I ain't never met my mama best friend. There was like church best friends or some shit like that, where it's like they was cool, they talked on the phone. I never met her, and if like she came over, I was probably not home or some shit like that. I had never met her before, ever. And then I find out that that's her son. And we getting ready to go to college. We ended up going to the same college. He was a year ahead of me, so he went to the college first. But we ended up going to the same college, and they was like, why don't y'all ride together to school? Nah, we can't. They're like, oh, that's because y'all just quiet, and it'll be a long ride. I was like, nah, we don't fuck with each other. Because I fucked it, and I can't tell him, I fucked his girlfriend before he did when we was 15, when we was in high school. I can't tell him that, but I can't walk away from that. I can't wear it down. You see what I'm saying? I can't wear it down, and it's fucked up because it's like, here you were pursuing her, chasing her, honoring patriarchy according to the changing a boy to a son. And here I am naturally just gravitated off the side of matriarchy where it makes boys men. And I already had it, and what I have already established within myself, my essence exudes so much that I just make them want to fuck me. I turned this shit off, bro. Like when I tell niggas I became celibate, like I had a nigga tell me, he's like, yo, you an incel. No, nigga, I'm not an incel. I'm a vocel. I'm a voluntary celibate motherfucker, nigga. I'm not, it's, nigga, I'm telling you, like it's, and in between time, it's like I've been celibate all this time and I still got more pussy offers than I got. It's like, and I didn't even get to fuck and I got more pussy than you niggas, bro. And this time I'm using pussy in terms of vagina, not pusillanimous. See how I brought all of that shit back? But nah, that's what this is, bro. If we were operating under matriarchy, because patriarchy is about niggas that are, patriarchy is about leveling the playing field for niggas that are at the shallow end of the gene pool. That's it. And everything that we see, the men wilding out, ICE, all of this shit, everything that's happening, like, look at the niggas that are in ICE. They got to cover their face. You bitches. How are you tough? You fuck with motherfuckers that, and this is ICE, police, everything. Like, this is the patriarchal society, nigga. They're bitch-made niggas. They pussy niggas, bro. You feel me? Under matriarchy, when men went to war, they only went to war with the warriors. Under patriarchy, you put to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle, nigga. What? What? That's fucked up. but it's deep. And I know I could have talked about that shit too, but I'd rather drive it home with just women because that's the only time niggas listen. When you talking about like, nigga, y'all ain't getting hoes. You feel me? To this day now, it's like, follow me on social media and shit. Like, you see a high percentage of the shit the content that I make and shit, like, who fucks with it? Women. I don't have to pander to them, nigga. I magnetize them. You feel me? And to the homie that I was talking about when he was like, yo, put me on, I can't put you, like, yo, you can't fuck with the women I can get. It's like, yo, every time you around, like I was in high school, I was in college when I first got there. It was like, yo, you always around some bad bitches. No, nigga, some bad bitches are always around me. Oh, real shit though. Not to be funny, I'm just being for real. Like, I learned how to do this, and now that when I stepped into entrepreneurship, and I actually, wrote my books and did all of the other shit that I've done. It has taken it to a whole nother level, but now it's like all of the women that I get are bad, like bad, nigga. Like, and I had to learn to filter that because it's like I magnetize women. It's like, yo, you're not supposed to be here. You're not built for this. That was something that I had to learn in my transition out of patriarchy from 2014, 15, 16 and shit. Like I was transitioning out of patriarchy, and it's like, nah. You can't be here. You want me to tell, oh, you got it. No, I'm not chasing you. That's why you came to me. I already magnetized you. I got you. Now you got to make me like you back. You got to make me like you back. Me liking you isn't enough for me to keep fucking with you. Make me like you back. I've already done the work. You feel me? And it's scary for women like that. Because it's like, I like this motherfucker. And he doesn't have to chase me for me to like this motherfucker. Like, now you're going to go talk to your girls. He not like, I've gotten added to so many green circles and women just won't say shit. Like the green circles on Instagram and shit, like the stories and shit. It's like, yo, just say something to me. You want me to keep, no. I've already got you to where you added me to your close friends and we don't know each other. I'm not your close friend. And this is not, if you're listening and it's not disrespectful to you and shit. But if your intent was to shoot a shot, I missed it because I'm in a lot of green circles. You know why? Because I do this shit. I don't get women from chasing them. I get women from attracting them. You feel me? I've always gotten women for attracting them. So you have to literally, I don't take hints. You don't have to take hints when you get bitches. Respectfully. It's the niggas that, oh, why did he didn't get my hint? That's a son under a patriarchal mentality. I'm not that. You got to be direct because I can pull another. It's not even about pulling another you. I can attract a group of you into my web at any given time because I know what women I want. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to wrap it up. When I was talking to a woman one time and she was like, I was like, yo, the men that you fuck with don't compare to me, but all the women that I fuck with will make you look stupid. And I'm not trying to be funny, whatever the case may be, but the conversation was this. She told me out of her own mouth, the man that she was with, low-key married to, well, she was, married to him or whatever. They got a divorce annulment or some shit. But she said, I sat him down and I read your book to him. I said, you don't see the degrees of separation between me and that nigga? She was like, I said, you read him the book that I wrote. We don't even compare. Nigga, we don't even compare, bruh. Like, I'm like, you don't see it? So that you think you better than him? I didn't say I was better than him, but I'm telling you, we don't compare. You're reading the book to him. She was like, because he wouldn't read it. So you're reading him the book that I wrote. You don't see the difference? But again, because I was in my transition phase of putting patriarchy down and, getting right, I was still in that space where, I'm the better man, literally. You feel me? But again, I started to see what I was magnetizing towards because I'm like, that's what you find. So now it's like, because she was into, esoteric shit, and it's like, yo, all the women in my space are into esoteric shit. What makes you special? I used to how niggas be like, yo, what do you bring to the table? I don't give a fuck about what you bring to the table. What makes you special? What makes you different? Because all of y'all bringing the same shit to the table for me. Like, it's like what I magnetize out of all of y'all, I guarantee that all of y'all are bringing the same shit to the table. So what do you? do that makes you special? Nothing. Well, okay, cool. Now I gotta go move on. Oh, see, you got all. No, I don't have options. I don't have choices in women. I'm at the level now where I make decisions. When you're under patriarchy, you have to pick your options. When you're under your matriarchy, you make your decisions. Because under patriarchy, your patriarchy is designed to make boys sons, turn boys to sons. And when you evolve to using masculinity to turn boys to men, it changes things. But this shit longer than motherfuckers, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And our sons, choose your poison. Understand matriarchy. If you want a book to truly understand matriarchy as it once was, look up Kush, the Jewel of Nubia. It might be very expensive now. I got it on a low. I caught it on a good deal way back in the day. But it broke down what matriarchy really was in those times and how to actually, tap in. But teach your sons, like, if you got to realize that you got to turn your boys into men, not sons. Because if you make them stay sons, they'll find somebody who's a better father than you. But if you teach them how to become a man, transition them into a man, like, everything else changes. You feel me? We have to now get into a space where it's like, as black men, especially as black men, our genetics are dominant. Patriarchy is not for us. Patriarchy ain't our shit. It just ain't, because we don't need it to thrive. You feel what I'm saying? Therefore, it's not meant for us. But it is what it is. But you can continue to follow patriarchy because it becomes easier, because all the hoes want you. Everybody love black men. Niggas, we do this shit. You feel what I'm saying? But then you have to switch it over, because now when you start to move into patriarchy, you realize you have to create something that is attractive. You have to build an empire that brings them in. You got to change that. You don't have to do that under patriarchy, because you can always be a son. You know what I'm saying? So we have to decide what we want our sons to be. This is why I was so passionate at the very beginning of this entire thing, because I don't want my son to be a son. Like, nigga, you're a man. You're going to become a man. The moment you come into this womb, I'm gonna come from the womb. It's time for me to teach you how to become a man. It's not designed for me to teach you how to stay my son. You feel me? So we have to make sure that we're doing that with our sons, making sure that we're creating and crafting them to become men, as opposed to just being our son, because it's going to be completely limited in what they do. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.